Hello friends, welcome. So today's video is a process video where I am making pieces for an upcoming Heartfelt Creation Christmas card. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch my camera and we'll just be doing some coloring, and then I'll die cut everything off camera, and then I'll have a second video to come back and we'll create the cards together. Alright, so here's some of what I have stamped, and I'm just gonna start coloring. You know, it's one of those days I'm just gonna have some fun coloring things up. I'm using the archival inks here. This is Sunflower. Just putting some of that pretty gold in the center of all of my poinsettia. And I have a lot of poinsettias. I don't know that I'll use them all, but I wanted to have them. So just going to, I've got them in different sizes, and we're just going to color them all up. I've got some ideas on what I'm going to make, but I have pulled images from just all over the place. In the next video, I will try to let you know where they all came from, but right now, we're just going to color them up. So I'm putting a little bit of this sunflower color in the center of all my poinsettias. And I think that's pretty much all of them. Not quite. We have one more over here, right here on my that piece, and any here. Nope. Okay. I think for now that makes me done with the sunflower. We'll set that aside, and now we're going to switch to some carnation red. I don't use these little pieces, so I'm not going to really worry about coloring them up. And for now, I'm just blending this carnation red on all the petals. And then I will use this lighthouse or plum color to go around the edges and to provide a stripe up the middle here in just a moment. You can see I'm just very quickly getting this carnation red onto my petals, letting it overlap with that gold color to provide some different shades down in there. To me, the magic happens with creating your flowers when you do the edges, actually. So now, on these that are stamped all in red, I'm not going to use these leaves because they're stamped in red. So I pretty much just did this for the petal parts. You can notice on this page, I stamped them in two colors, and I'll use these leaves. But you need two flowers for each one leaf, so I didn't stamp them all. It's kind of tedious, have to do it half and half, where because this is all one stamp, so you have to stamp this in red and this in green, and that's a little bit tedious. I'm glad on the newer poinsettias they did the leaves and petals separately, and these my paper shifted, so I'm not going to use these two. All right, I still have that one over here. Whoops, I had it right on my. Okay. Now there may be some other reds that I'll come back and get later. I am going to do my little candle here in red. All right. Do these in red. I think there's one more set of those somewhere. Oh, two more. So like I said, we'll do this in a moment. Actually, I am going to get one of my makeup brushes. I'm going to come in and just provide a little bit of darkness there along the center of each petal. And I may not do this on all the small ones, but I'm going to do it for my larger ones. All right. Makes us done with that. So let's do some leaves. I'm going to start with my Vivid Chartreuse. And I'm just going to add some of that Vivid Chartreuse onto all of my leaves. And I have lots of them. Lots of different kinds from different places. On these pieces, I am going to go ahead and I'm just going to do the whole things in the Vivid Chartreuse for now. Skip those two. All right, one more down here. And same with this one, just gonna, there we go. All right, now on these, I'm gonna switch to a different color. On these, I'm going to switch to Emerald. And I'm just gonna put that Emerald here on all my leaves. All right. Okay, I think I'll add just a little bit right here. And I may have to do this more with my makeup brushes because that's going to be a little hard to color up. So same with my tree. I think I'll do that one with the makeup brushes as well. And if I've got a makeup brush in green, I might as well do some of this with the makeup brush as well. So, okay. Let's go back, and now we're going to switch to our darker color, which is the English Ivy. I'm going to add some English Ivy here at the base of all my leaves and kind of up the center. You can see how I'm kind of giving them some variation, some lights and darks. All right. That one looks pretty good. Those look good. Now, the little berries that are in the center of these, I'm not going to be using that. So I'm just going to be adding our dark green here right in the center of these leaves. Okay, same here, just going to kind of get some variation in these. Go. Hold those up, you can see how that does. All right, now let's see, on these that we did in Emerald, I'm going to come back and add some of this English Ivy mixed in there. Just give some depths in there. One thing that looks really nice with the Emerald is to add a little teal, but I'm not going to bring teal into these cards, but that is two colors that I like mixing. If you have greenery that you want to have, you know, kind of some blues, I like mixing that teal color. Okay, now we'll wait on that. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, now I am going to add a little bit of brown. So let me grab my brown. What did I do with it? There it is. And for this, I'm using a Catherine Pooler ink. I thought I had grabbed a brown dauber, but I don't see one. Ah, there's one. This'll do. Well, that's gray. Here, I'll use this one to do brown. Okay. I'm going to do my sled. I'm going to come back and add a little bit of gray on my sled as well. Well, let's go ahead and do this bar. That bar is going to be brown too. Okay. All right. While I have my brown out, I'm going to do my two front doors. I have two of those stamped. And I'm just going to add my brown onto my front door. Now the rock that goes around my front door, I'm going to do that in gray. And it actually cuts out separate, so I have stamped it in gray here. So these two will actually go together. I'll cut out the rock and add it on top. And that actually cuts these out. And I may trim those out and add them onto my door here, so that will give me a little more leeway in how I color that. I'm gonna get a little bit darker in the corners. All right, there's one, and now we'll do the next one. I'm going to do this one a bit darker. Okay. Alright, here's my gray. I grab my gray ink. This one is called Blackjack, and it's also a Catherine Pooler. Alright, now on this one that I did darker, that one I don't have a gray one stamped for, so that one, you know what, I'm going to have to do it the other way around. It's going to have to be this one because I didn't color these. So I'm going to go ahead and color that brown around here. All right. All right, now with my darker red here, I'm gonna do a little bit of the bricks, and just a little bit. I don't know how much of these bricks will actually end up on my card, but I want to put a little bit of color on them, just in case I do end up using them. All right, let me write down in here by the side a little more. I think that's pretty good. All right. On this one, I think I'll go ahead and do the bricks on this one as well, because even when I add that gray, like I said, I'm not 100% sure I'll use them, but I don't like to have to come back and color again after I put it all away, so it's better just to do it now. And that'll be that. Okay, those two are done. This one is done. Looks like everything's done on that page. Now, here's one. If you see this one, you don't have a stamp that does the whole thing. It only does to about right here. And I took a black pen and I added this bottom on. So I wanted this light to be able to stand next to my front door. So I just extended that down and drew a base. Now I'm going to cover around the base with poinsettias and stuff. So it's okay with me that it's not like totally perfect. But when I die cut this, I'm going to have to let it hang off the edge so that that end doesn't cut. And then I'll have to cut this out by hand. So that's kind of how I'm going to work that. I can't remember if that's my brown or my gray. I guess we're about to find out. Ah, good. It's my gray. I'm putting this on kind of heavy because it's actually supposed to be black, so just a dark gray, but and let's see, I have to use one of these to get down in there. I'm adding just a little bit of heaviness right up here so that that's a little darker. Okay. I think I want my candle to be, well, let's do the candle red and then I'll do the flame yellow. Makes it a little easier. And then we'll do up in there yellow. And a little bit of green. Just right down in there. And a little bit of that glow. All right. Let's see. It's looking pretty good. Okay, we need to add a little bit more here on our berries. And I'm going to put some red. And you can see I'm putting those on very heavy compared to my others. Okay. Oh, we got a few more of those somewhere. Here we go. add just a little more depth in that. Same with over here. Got some. And now all of my decorative balls on this tree, the ornaments, I'm going to color most of those this red color. Now, the ones that are shaped differently, I may come back and do those a different color, but for now, there. I think that'll be, and I'm not going to be using the little angel, so I'm not going to color her. Some of these I may go ahead and do red. I'll probably just do these in a variety of colors. Same with my other ones. I have some more Christmas ornaments here, and I may try to hang some of these ornaments from my berries. And looky there, I almost missed these. All of these I need to add. Oops, might want to. Now, on a lot of these berries, I haven't decided yet, but I may come back and put some crystal lacquer on all these berries and let them dry overnight. And then go from there and decide if we want to do that. Now I'm just kind of lightly doing this area because my tree is going to be sitting in front of this. So it's just, you know, to provide a scene when we open the door. It's going to come there. Okay, I don't want to do that yet. Hold on. Okay. Add some yellow in our tree. I'll do this. Whoops. I had too much red on the end. Oops. Darn. Okay. Well, that makes me mad. I may have to restamp that one. I'm going to get another, have several of these over there, and I'd rather just redo it. I think what I'll do is I'll just cut the star off and add a different star. That way I don't have to restamp the whole thing. Okay. Now I'm going to come back with a vivid chartreuse as well to add into this tree. I'm just going to do my darker first, and then I'll come in with the lighter. And those other oblong ornaments, I'm just going to go ahead and color those with this dark green. Now, nobody's going to be examining that on the inside, so I'm not going to put a lot of effort into that. But I do want to come back with some of the lighter colors just to fill that in. All right, so totally messed that up, but that's how it is sometimes. We'll come back and do that later. And just gonna do a few of these ornaments. I'm not even sure how much of these I'll use, so we're not gonna, if I use 2 or 3 of them, that'll be plenty. Go ahead and color my fireplace and my candles. there something? There's a bell somewhere. I think it's on here. Yeah. I may end up using this bell, so I thought I would color that. There's another little bell. I like the striped one. Oops. All right. Get my gray. I'm going to color my fireplace here gray. Oh boy. Don't want to mess that up. Okay. On the other end, I'm going to put a little bit of brown. I'm just going to color my wood. Put it in there. Going over the edges of my fireplace because I want that to be good and separate from my the walls. Okay. And oops, one. Just kind of giving that a log cabin look by putting a little bit of brown on the walls. And like I said, my Christmas tree here is going to set in front of this scene, so I think that that's going to be good for us. One more place. There's a hearth right here at the bottom. And where's the red? Here's the red. I'm going to color that red. All right. All right, how's that looking? I forgot to do this one. I'm going to add a little bit of red onto this one striped Christmas ball. Inside my bell. Like I said, I may not use those. I'm not sure how they'll look, but I wanted to have the option. Don't know how I keep getting stuff in my yellow. Okay. Ah, that's green. Picked up the wrong one. That's all right. You ever do that? I do it quite often. I apologize. Now, when this cuts out, it cuts out that middle part, so I am not worried at all about getting, color on that because it's going to be cut out. All right. I think this is going to do us. I will come back, add a little color on that, but I think I'll do that after it's cut out. It'll be a little easier to get it where I want it. So, all right. We'll go through, make sure we got everything. And I know it all looks a little rough right now, but when we get this all cut out, It's going to be great. All right, I'm excited about these cards. I hope you'll come back and see what I make out of them. So I'll go ahead and do my die cutting, and I will see you back here soon. There we go. There's all of our pieces. All right, see you soon. Thanks for joining me.